you're trying to improve your conversation skills and get people to enjoy talking to you more and just be more likable, a good thing you can work on improving is your skill of just listening. Being able to ask the right questions and actually actively listen instead of just kind of somewhat hearing it and then continuing the conversation because you're in your head wondering what you're going to say next. Being able to genuinely listen to what somebody says is going to get you so much further in developing a relationship with that person, and also just getting them to like you in general. Because people like to talk about themselves. That's just how human nature is. There's not much somebody would rather talk about than themselves. Whenever they talk about themselves, they can ramble for hours. You can just ask them whatever they like to do, and then go further into that topic. Get them to start talking about it more. Ask them why they like it. Ask them what specific thing that they like for that reason. And you just keep asking more about that, like just random topics about them, where they're from. Obviously at that surface level, but once you get them talking, they'll start getting more and more comfortable with you, and they'll open up more. And then at that point, you're just deepening the connection because you know more about them, and they're gonna just like you more at that point. And the thing with our generation is like social media, video games, and then short form content, all of that makes it a lot less common for people to be able to listen well. You get distracted easily. Maybe you're talking to somebody and somebody walks by, so while they're talking, you'll kind of look over and watch them walk past, and you do that often. Or maybe your phone goes off, you get notifications, so midway while you're talking with them, you'll look down at your phone and see what the notification is, and then look back up like you were still listening. And maybe you are still listening, but you're not fully listening. And whenever you actively listen, like maybe you like just nod your head about, oh yeah, like you kind of talk along with them, like, or even repeat them sometimes, it makes them know that you're listening, that you care about them. And showing that you care about them just makes them like you more because it's them, right? That's the selfish nature comes out, and it's gonna make you care about them more. And you kind of do. If you're willing to listen to what they're saying, that means you do care about them, and it shows that you've worked on, or maybe not worked on it, but it shows that you're socially capable. Now the thing is, sometimes you're going to come across people who also are great at listening, and those people are people who you want to get to know because, again, they're going to be caring about you. They're going to show they care about you, and they're not going to just be fully selfish whenever it comes to conversating. And those are the people who are going to be asking you stuff about yourself as well, and that's whenever you really have a good conversation going. And at that point, you know how to talk as well and be able to kind of bounce back and forth with each other rather than just sitting there trying to just be like, oh yeah, rather than just listening. You have to be able to talk at least some, right? But there's going to be people who only talk about themselves, and you'll notice it whenever you start talking to people more often, and typically people find them annoying. I don't mind it. It lets me have an easy conversation. I can just sit there and ask questions or just nod along while they keep talking. It's like a whole one-sided conversation. But I was saying about the distractions and being most people not being capable of listening actively, anyways, at least consistently. A good way to go about doing that is trying to just lessen your screen time, get less social media time on your phone, stop looking at the screen as much, and stop just blowing your brain up with dopamine throughout the day. Do smaller things that will help you keep your attention, and even meditating. Meditating will help a lot because it gets you out of your head, and you're able to just focus more. And you can actively watch them, make good eye contact, and be aware of everything going on. And the thing is, whenever you're doing this, I mentioned earlier, you don't want to be thinking what to say next, because whenever your head's just clear and you're actively listening, things will just pop up for you to say. Like it'll just click in your head, like, oh, let me further that, or get them to go further into that explanation. And you can just build off of what they're saying, and it makes it so easy. So not only are you making the conversation easy on your own side, you're also deepening those connection and also learning more about them in the process. So it makes it easier to talk next time you see them. And just doing this while doing like proper body language, like, like making like good eye contact, properly like smiling at the right time, just like small things like that, and facing them and all that, it adds up and gets them to like you more. And with listening, it's not just like one-on-one conversations. It could be in a group, and it helps a lot in a bunch of areas, like job interviews. Obviously, you're gonna be talking more because they're asking you questions. But being able to listen to the question properly and get like a deeper meaning from it can help you stand out more from the crowd. And there's just a bunch of things that go into it, but the skill of listening obviously isn't the one thing you need to hold your own in the conversation, but it's a big factor. And whenever you add that on top of all the other things that I talk about, or that you might see from other people that you learn from with social skills and everything, that's just something that I've come to realize is super important, especially whenever it's just somebody you're meeting who's new, because you can so easily further conversation by just actually listening and getting out of your head. But yeah, if you're interested in content, please subscribe. I make self-improvement videos, and there's things I'm interested in, really. It's kind of just stuff that I feel like making. So if you're interested, please subscribe. If you're interested in coaching, there's a link in the description. We'll have a quick little sales call and see if we're a good fit. Besides that, if you got any goals, we'll make that happen, and I will see you in the next video.